What's up, guys? It's Alexander here. Another review. This time, doing one that's actually very, very special to me. The Samurai Champloo manga created by Manglobe and Masaru Gotsubo. Pretty sure I just butchered that. Written and no straight by that. And yeah, this one's gonna be kind of interesting because this one's really old, and again, this one's very special to me, specifically because this, this volume that you're looking at right here is actually the very first manga I have ever owned. I've had it since I was 15, so quite a while. So, really kind of excited to review it in a way, just for that, for the sentimental reasons and nostalgia. And, but that's kind of a bit where it stands off. For anybody who doesn't know, anyway, Samurai Champloo for the manga is about is pretty much the same as the anime because I know most people are more familiar with the anime. And it's about Fu, who is just a waitress at a restaurant until she bumps into these two swordsmen, Mugen, who's on the front, and then Jin, another swordsman who she hires them pretty much essentially, or kind of tricks them, I guess, into journeying with her to find a samurai who smells of sunflowers. And that's pretty much the basic plot for the manga and the anime. But from there, they kind of like divulge a little bit because the manga will is this follows that same thing, goes about it with a whole nother cast of characters and scenarios which they find themselves in. And I don't know, like for me, like the scenarios that they go in are kind of like, well, they're definitely not as subtle. At least that's what I have to say. But first, before I get into that, um, talk about the art. The art, I think, is pretty unique. You know, it's very sketchy-ish. It's definitely not all like cleaned up and very detailed. But I think it's trying to like copy a bit, like what the anime kind of look like. That whole like sketchy-ish kind of look to it, kind of like unrefined at times look. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is to the whole thing. Very rarely does it get any more detailed. And it kind of fits the whole like the whole like aesthetic, I guess, of it. In a way. So for that, it's pretty unique. I know some people wouldn't really get into it because it's kind of hard to follow that way because of it. But it's definitely one that stands out a bit. Um, and again, for next is the themes. I guess it kind of follows the same kind of themes ish, but about like the journey, not the destination, and finding your own like little family and things like that. And dealing with problems of isolation and loneliness and finding your way in the world. You know, kind of it's not quite as good at it though as the anime because here's the thing: there's only 2 volumes to this whole thing. I have this one, I do have the second one, but then after that, it just got I forget exactly why, but it got canceled, and so I never really got to explore where these Mugen Jinfu, which are kind of the same characters as far as the compared to the anime counterparts. They're just maybe a bit more like exaggerated a bit sometimes here, and like we never get to really see where it all goes at the end. So I guess if you're, more I'll say on that later. Sorry, and yeah, that's where I have to say like finish off like saying about the kind of like good and the facts of it now. Just again, 2 volumes, very short. Doesn't really lend itself to a whole lot of getting to know the characters and stories. And I know it is very episodic like the anime, but it doesn't really go anywhere because it doesn't wrap up. We don't really get to learn more about our main 3 at all because of it. And again, because of like the way it's written and the way it's drawn, it's not quite as subtle as like the anime where it has some much more quieter moments. at times. Just let that breathe in the atmosphere, and of course the music that really, drew you in with the anime. Obviously, you don't have that here, so it's kind of harder to get into that kind of feel, and doesn't let it like more moments breathe as much. Um, let's say it's bad. It's just, unless you're like a hardcore Samurai Champloo fan, you know, I guess I wouldn't suggest this, but for what it is, I think it's okay. But also because it's so old and things like that, it's kind of a little hard to find. I kind of just looked it up before I um, started this whole review, and most of them are pretty expensive just for a single volume. But again, if you're a hardcore Samurai Champloo fan, you know, you might enjoy it. You know, and let's see. So, in summary, plot's kind of same-ish. Unique-ish art style, similar-ish themes. Kind of hard to find, and just the biggest drawback is that it's just unfinished. So, I'm not quite sure where I actually do suggest this or not. I guess only, again, if you're a hardcore Samurai Champloo fan. Sorry. Anyway, that's all I really have to say about this one. Talk to you guys later. Bye.